We're live. Hello.
Hello, mate.
Um, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. You?
West Ham Fan TV live and uncut with me, Nicky Hawkins, and of course my old mate Ryan Archer. I'm looking a bit blue, mate. I had to put some more light. For some reason, it doesn't show the light on me when like the room's right lit up. It looks like I'm sitting in a dungeon.
Yeah. So see, I'm sitting right underneath one of these big lights in the front room, so I'm all right. It's quite lit up, but you don't look too bad, mate.
No, I've had to put a little light on. I know we didn't come Monday, mate. What you been up to?
Not much really, mate. Not much.
I've been since Saturday. I've been absolutely terribly ill, like to the point where I'm been drifting in and out of consciousness. That's why
I was like a bit like that last week when I was off ill. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going around at the moment, mate. So
it's just like I've been really ill, ill.
Standing outside a football ground after when it's pissing down the rain in the cold don't help either, does it?
No, but do you know what? I don't know what it is because it's not like I've been. I don't know. It's not like I've been like any type of sickness. I've had sickness before, but I've never felt anything like this. It's just drained all my energy. I don't know what's gone on. Thank you very much for everyone joining us in the chat, both on YouTube and Periscope on Twitter, of course. So the name of the video, Ryan, is Michail Antonio will return after the international break, Pellegrini says.
Yeah, massive news. Not only for the club, but for Antonio as well. I think he's back a bit earlier than what we expected. I know he's been training on his own and he's been doing a lot of running. So, yeah, look, he's been a massive loss since he went out, since he got injured. We have missed him, especially in the last two home games against Sheffield. Well, the last three games, Everton away, Sheffield United home, Palace at home. We could have done with a player like Antonio, someone that big, strong, gets his head down, runs at players and creates things. Because I think not only have the team missed him, I think especially Sebastian Haller, he's missed him as well because they was getting a good little partnership when he was in the team earlier in the season.
Yeah, we have missed him bad. My next question was, how badly have we missed him? When you think about what's happened since.
Yeah, we have. I mean, when he got injured, when he's been injured before, he's been our best player, one of our top players. But this season, when he got injured, I was gutted that he got injured, obviously. But I looked around that squad and I thought, no, we've got good cover there for him. But since he's been injured, I think we have missed him. We've missed him a lot. He just adds that bit to your team. Then he adds that pace, the strength. He runs at teams.
I've written him off so many times. That's the sad thing about him. I've written him off so many times, but every time he just proves me wrong. He's a very important player for us. Does he start every week? Probably not, if everyone's sort of in form. But there is one thing that Michail Antonio does give you, and what we don't have in the squad, and that's consistency, consistent performances. He has had a bit of a dip in the 4 or 5 years that he's been here now, but apart from that, you know what you're going to get from Michail Antonio, and it gives us a different dimension. And I think at the moment, mate, that's a dimension. I said we'd miss him when he went down. I said we'd miss him because he gives you something different.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a big loss, but as I said, when you look around the squad and you've got players like Anderson, Yarmolenko, who at that time were in good form. Yarmolenko's just come back from his injury. Lanzini was back. We had Fornals. I thought, all right, in previous seasons, Antonio would be a massive loss because we haven't got many people to come in and replace him. But this season we have, but it hasn't worked out that way. And I think he's going to give the team, Pellegrini, the squad, the club, the fans, everyone a boost when he returns in his first game.
He can obviously play up front as well, which is something that we've been missing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He gives you different options, Antonio. Look, we've seen it before. He'll come on and he'll play right back if he has to. He's done it before. He's that type of player. He's the sort of player that you like to have in your squad.
I see a real good question, but I've lost it. It was something like, I don't know who sent it. So if it's you, send it again and I'll put it up on the screen. What would you do if Mark Noble done what Xhaka done? I mean, if nobody knows what Xhaka done, obviously they was playing against Crystal Palace. They was 2-0 up, equalised 2-2. He got subbed off by his manager, and instead of jogging off or rushing to get off, he sort of took a stroll, and the Arsenal fans didn't like it.
No, look, it goes a bit deeper than that with Granit Xhaka and the Arsenal fans. He's literally just released a statement now. I can see it going across the bottom of the screen in the yellow bar. He's been getting death threats off of fans. He's wishing him cancer. His wife cancer, and like when he got subbed off on Saturday, it's frustration. He's walking off. The crowd are booing him. Look, players are human beings at the end of the day. They're going to have a tipping point, and that was his tipping point. Was he right to do it? Probably not. He's a professional, but look, as I said, we're human beings, and we've all got tipping points. If Mark Noble done it, I'd like to think the West Ham fans would never treat Mark Noble the way Arsenal have treated their captains. Look, he's not the greatest player in the world. I think this also comes down to Unai Emery as well. The way that he was chosen as captain, he didn't choose him. He let the players choose him. So he's in a tough situation. And look, Arsenal down the years, especially since they've lost like the likes of Adams and Vieira and Henry, they haven't had a good record with their captains. I mean, Van Persie up and left. Who was the one before? Koscielny, was it Koscielny, the one that had an Arsenal shirt on and took it off in a video and had his new club underneath? Yeah. William Gallas. They haven't had a lot of luck down the years, but no, look, I'd like to think that Mark Noble would never ever be treated like that over West Ham, even in the bad times. You remember what happened with the Burnley game when he threw the fan to the floor? Mark Noble come out of that. That could have ruined his West Ham career, but that's what captains are about. So there's passionate game football.
KDS 88V, we'll get back to the Mark Noble thing in a minute, said no PMP last Saturday, guys. No, it was a bit of a shit show, to be quite honest with you. I wasn't quite happy with it. I was feeling very ill. We filmed something. I wasn't happy with it. I wanted to go somewhere else and film it, but I was just feeling too rough in the end.
Camera was shit, sound was shit, pissing down the rain. Yeah, it was bad.
And I just couldn't redo it again. I wasn't feeling up to it, but we'll be back this week. Roger Cook says, think you guys are too soft on Haller. What strikers in modern game can't play up top on their own?
Well, he can play up top on his own. He's not getting the service. He can't cross the ball in and run in and header it in himself, can he? He's winning the balls. He's winning the flick-ons. He can play up front on his own, but as we said, at the moment, he's not getting the service and the support.
Back to the Mark Noble debate. Stevie Warboy says, Noble is a West Ham through and through. Even Nobes himself has made suggestions that he shouldn't be starting that for the benefit of the team. He wants to see better players. Yeah, absolutely. He wouldn't do what Granit Xhaka does. He's too much.
I'd like to think that our fan base would never treat Mark Noble that way.
I won't bet against it, though. What do you think of the managers letting players pick the captain? It seems to be an Arsenal thing, that, didn't it? Because I think they picked the last one, didn't they?
I think Man City do it as well. I think the players picked David Silva this season, obviously because it's his last season at City. But I think it's ridiculous. Managers got to have some bollocks. You see, because you need someone as a manager. Your captain needs to work alongside you. That's why Mark Noble, in the managers that he's had, has worked well with them. If you're letting your mates pick your captain, it's not going to go well because some people ain't going to want him as captain.
A captain for me, most of the time, I know there is exceptions like with Nobes and all that sort of thing, but a captain for me should be a man not only embroiled in the club, but someone that the manager thinks to himself, I'm not going to take him off too often. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. If you're letting other people sort of pick the captain, we've seen what he done to Ozil and all that sort of thing. Like, we're talking way too much about Arsenal, but I'm just saying, in general. But if you let a club pick a captain, they might pick some twat that never plays. Do you know what I mean?
No, but your captain is your go-to man. If you're a player and things ain't going well, and you don't want to approach the manager, you approach your captain, and he does it for you. A captain is not just someone on the field; they're your captain off the field as well, and that's why I'm glad. And I said this to my mate in work who supports Arsenal. I'm glad that we've got someone like Mark Noble as our captain. And, you know, he's not going to be captain forever. We know that. But we've had a history of good captains. We've had a couple of rubbish ones, but you go back to the days of Billy Bonds, Bobby Moore, you know, they're the sort of captains the West Ham have grown up on.
Somebody's asking, keeps on asking this. Would you take Callum Wilson for Haller? No, certainly not.
Look, obviously Callum Wilson's a more proven striker in the Premier League, but no, I'd probably stick with Haller. I think Haller will come good soon.
I think Snoddy should play regularly as he inspires energy and he crosses well, etc. Obviously, we haven't done a post-match pint, so we can talk a little bit about the game on Saturday. I thought he was our best player, and I've been calling for him to come in the side.
Yeah, he done well. He added that little bit of fight into the midfield that we've been missing over the last couple of games. He got his goal, great finish. He could have had two. He hit the post when he slid in at the back post. Disappointed to come off as well. I thought he was brought off too soon. But yeah, no, he took his chance, and now he's probably going to be starting against Newcastle on Saturday. And I'd like to see him because he was sort of switching sides on Saturday when he was drifting in and out of the midfield as well. I'd like to see him maybe play more central in a midfield. Just, you know, like how Downing played at that top of that diamond that season.
Yeah.
Because I know people are calling for Anderson to be more central, but I prefer Anderson out on the wings where he can cut in and create things and have a shot. And then you've got Yarmolenko on the other side. I could see maybe, I could see Snodgrass definitely starting on Saturday. He's done nothing wrong.
See, I would say myself, I would put Anderson in the middle because I think that's where you'll get the most out of him because I think he defends too much. Last season wasn't defending enough. This season too much, and I think it's taken away from his game. Who would you replace Snoddy for? I wouldn't, Matt. I wouldn't replace him. I'd keep him in.
Well, if Snoddy's going to get replaced, then it'll be probably Lanzini, won't it? That'll come back into the team.
Hong Ryan 97. Anyone think we'll look to reinforce in the January transfer window and what positions?
Pellegrini come out today, didn't he, and said that they're looking to strengthen. He wants to get a couple of. He wants to get a centre forward, and he's looking to add a couple more players in defence. So he must think we're all right in midfield. Me personally, I think we need another defensive midfielder.
Yeah, Lee Cross says we are losing with Roberto. I think that's very harsh, mate. Have we lost? I don't think we have lost, have we?
Yeah, we lost what?
Yeah, Palace
and Everton.
But
look, I think Roberto hasn't done bad in the games he's been in since Fabianski's got injured. All right, he's made a couple of mistakes, but he's quick thinking last Saturday against Sheffield United set us up for the first goal because he straight out to Yarmolenko. Great ball by Yarmolenko as well to play in Snodgrass and a great finish. And I just look, it was difficult on Saturday because if you want to break into that top six, no disrespect to teams like Sheffield United and Palace at home, but we should be winning them games. But nothing's guaranteed in the Premier League, so it's we've got a chance now to put it right on Saturday and get back into winning ways because we went through that little spell of forgetting what it was like to lose. Now we're forgetting what it's like to win.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit worrying, but there's a long season ahead yet. We all have these little patches in the season, and I'm sure we'll get back to winning ways. Steve Critcher says, like to see Snoddy and Anderson in a number 10 role. Yeah, that's what I said. Roberto is 1,000 times better than we all originally thought, says Jane Keller. I thought he's been good. I look back at the goal the other day and maybe he could have at least attempted to die for it. But apart from that, like some of the saves he's made have been absolutely outstanding.
Well, yeah, the thing is, you want about Sheffield United's goal?
Yes.
Yeah, he did dive for it, but I just think he was out of position. I mean, if he was more central in the goal, he saves that. But he's obviously following the ball, and it's a great finish from their striker. He's got it right in the bottom corner. And look, people say, "Oh, Fabianski would have saved that." You will never know that unless Fabianski was in the goal that day. So well, as you said, we've got to get behind him. You know, Fabianski looks like he's going to be out to at least January, so we've got a busy couple of months coming up now, especially with the Christmas period.
One bad mistake that Roberto has made, in my opinion, says David Murray. Somebody just said there is. Edward Denham says, "Is anyone worried about Diop? He doesn't look like a £60 million player." Look, prices. People. I've seen other like West Ham channels as well. Like when they're listing players about they're listing them in value. You know, value is, it's subjective. You know what I mean? Like he's only as much as people are willing to play. Do I think he's at his best, Diop? No, not really. Do I think he could do bit better? Yeah. Is he terrible or is he learning? I think he's learning.
I'll be totally honest with you, mate. I like Diop, and I thought it was harsh on Ogbonna last week that Ogbonna was dropped. I think Diop should have been dropped, if anything, if he's going to bring Balbuena in. But obviously, Pellegrini might want to get that little partnership of Balbuena and Diop going again. But I thought it was very harsh on Ogbonna last week. And I think another mistake that Pellegrini made last week was dropping Fredericks for Zabaleta, because we needed pace on that right-hand side. Zabaleta ain't going to give you that. So, yeah, I think that was a big mistake. There was a few mistakes that Pellegrini made last week, and it cost us.
I think the thing he wanted to put in, mate, was industry.
Yeah, but Fredericks gives you that. Fredericks, listen, Fredericks can get back. He can put in tackles. And as I said, he can also get forward and put crosses in. I just think that's one thing that we was lacking against Sheffield United last week, was just down that pace down the right-hand side. Look, Zabaleta done well. He had a good game. But I just thought Fredericks, Ogbonna, I felt sorry for him. Lanzini was the right call.
Richard Wanacott says, okay, so sell them at 60 million and reinvest. If you had the time back and you know what you know this season, now I know we're only 10 games in, would you have took that money from Man United and perhaps put it back into the team?
What, for Diop?
Yeah.
No. As I said, I like Diop. He's got a big future at West Ham. He's still young. So I just think over the last Palace at home and Everton away, especially Everton away, if you're going to drop anyone out of Diop and Ogbonna, I will have dropped Diop. That's just my personal opinion. I thought it was very harsh on Ogbonna. I think Ogbonna has probably been one of our best players in the last few games.
Thomas Longagan says, Ryan, no keeper in the world stays in the middle of his goal when someone's going to shoot from beyond the far post. He had to move towards the post where the threat was. That's why we're not goalkeepers, mate.
No, but what I'm saying with that is, I'm not saying he had to be dead central, but if he was over,
I know what you mean.
If he was over a little bit more, he reaches that. So,
but we're not goalies, are we? So, no. That's down to the goalkeeper would tell you what position he was. American Hammers TV. Hello, guys. Hello. American Hammers TV. I'm sorry, but Pellegrini's starting to show that he's tactically lost it and the way of playing out of favour and slowly dying, says James Kelly. It's not been good from Pellegrini, but I'm not buying into all of that. But it's time to go.
Before we get onto the Newcastle stuff and the weekend, one thing I want to bring up. Last night I was on my way and was listening to TalkSport, and Durham and Goff was having a debate about Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Right. And Durham brought up that Jose Mourinho is obviously, he wants to work in the Premier League. He wants to come back to the Premier League. He's listing the teams. He said Arsenal, Newcastle, Everton. He also said West Ham. He said, and the reason why he said West Ham is because Everton and West Ham they're big clubs. They're on the verge of breaking into the top 6, maybe top 4 in the next few seasons, but they're not going to do it under the current managers they've got. Now, if Jose Mourinho was available, I know your answer on this anyway, because I know you don't really like him, but take into a football account, would you want to see someone like Jose Mourinho at West Ham?
No. Do you know what? I'll get slated for this as well, because, Mourinho's got
think about Mourinho. I mean, like, people talk about Man United Mourinho, right? What you got to remember is that he finished second and won the Europa League, and I think he won another cup as well with them. And he was on the verge of trying to get them back into contention of battling with City again.
No, I understand. He comes with a lot of baggage, Mourinho. Like, and and so I'll sit here and obviously I'll get slated for it because people will look at me and say, "Oh, how dare you turn your nose at Mourinho?" But I like in my football managers, I like a certain amount of what's the word? I like a little bit of pride for the club, and a bit of etiquette towards other clubs and things like that. You know what I mean? I conduct myself like that. You know what I mean? You never see me slagging off other clubs. You'll never see me slagging off other fans and all that sort of thing. I think football banter's great, but I think there should be a certain etiquette in the game, especially at the top. And I don't think he's got that, Ryan. I don't think.
See, the thing is, when you look at when you look at
and all that sort of thing,
when you look at Jose Mourinho. No, go on.
Right, and I also like my managers to bleed in youngsters, and he doesn't do that for me. You know what I mean? Like, he does not bleed in youngsters. He's got an awful record of he's got an awful record of bringing youngsters in. He wants to buy everything. He wants instant success because it's something that he inbreeds in himself. He's a winner. He's a serial winner. You're
saying about instant success, but don't fans want that?
Yeah, to a certain extent, but
owners want that.
To a certain extent, yeah. I can see why he's a very attractive manager to.
But let's just say, for instance, right? Say, I know. Look, Pellegrini's our manager.
One second. Let me just answer this one comment. I'm going to look. JM, Nicky is a Jose hater. What you on about? Jose played youngsters like Rashford and McTominay. Rashford was already in the first team. Yeah, he played McTominay, but he also let people like Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku walk away from Chelsea because he wouldn't give them game time. They're world superstars now, without a doubt, some of the best in the world. If you can't see talent in them, you can't see talent. Simple as that. But go on, mate.
No, I was just about to say that, the thing is, like, Pellegrini's our manager, but if he wasn't, say he left tomorrow and there was the thing is with Jose Mourinho, he's been in charge of some top teams, top clubs. Someone like West Ham, he'd come in now and, we're not as big as the Real Madrids. Chelsea at that time with all the money. I just think that if West Ham had a chance to get someone like Jose Mourinho, mate, I would snap their hands off and get him in the club. Because you know why? Because as soon as he walks through that door, West Ham become a bigger name around the world because Jose Mourinho's in charge. Not only that, you'll get players like Anderson, Yarmolenko, all these players we've got, Lanzini's, they will up their game. And look, it's not going to happen. But if the opportunity was there, and I just thought it was an interesting discussion because he was quite complimentary of West Ham, Durham last night, and Everton as well. And he said Newcastle were linked. I don't think he's ever going to go to Newcastle. But I just think that if West Ham wanted to take that next level, I think that someone like Jose Mourinho never stays at a club for 3, maybe 4 years, and then he goes. But what managers nowadays stay that long? Look at Arsenal. They had Arsene Wenger for, 21 years? Unai Emery's been in there a season. They want him out. They'll probably get him out and then they get someone else in, and then a year down the line, someone else will come in. That's football now.
It's a fantastic debate because I can see exactly what you're saying, Ryan. Because he would come in, he would steady the ship. He'd be getting this plan, good football when we can play good football, and he'll be getting us playing shit football when it needs to be done. But he's just not the man for me. I just don't like him. I just don't like him as a person.
So do you think, right, if you had the choice now and say West Ham was a vacant job and you had Pellegrini or Mourinho, you'd choose Pellegrini over Mourinho?
That's a tough one.
It's a difficult one. Fuck it. Let's just have Eddie. We'll just get Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe would be
no, look, I just thought it was an interesting debate last night on TalkSport. I thought it was really good, and I know your views on Mourinho, so I just wanted to see if anything had changed. I know the thing is, Mourinho, he'll come in and he will love everything about West Ham. You know, I know sometimes he said things down the years about certain clubs' fans and things like that. He won't get that from us because he knows our fans will be loyal through thick and thin.
To be honest, if the like people were coming in the comments, look, Andy Lee says Mourinho all day long. Sorry. Nathaniel, don't be sorry, mate. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Nathaniel Waite says, Nicky, if I was guaranteed Jose come in and got us top 6, you can't deny it. Now, yeah, I know what you're saying, and like maybe
it definitely splits opinions, and that's why I thought it was a good topic last night.
But that Mourinho thing is my opinion. Is it? I'm not saying it's right, you know that, but that's just my opinion about him. I don't like he has brilliant success in his first 1 or 2 years. By the end of it, nobody fucking likes him in the club. Do you know what I mean? Like he's left Chelsea twice under a cloud. He left Real Madrid under a cloud.
I can see him
under a cloud.
I can see him turning up at but do you know what? Man United fans would give anything to have him back now, I think.
I know, yeah, they liked him, you know what I mean? But
he was
I'll be honest with you, right? Regardless of what my opinion is, whether I want him or not, I think if Pellegrini for some reason walked away or walked away or whatever, I think they would, go and get him. Look, I mean, look at this guy, Johnny M. Ha, the arrogance of this West Spam fan rejecting Mourinho. He won't go to a 2-bob chav club like yours anyway. Listen, if the money's on the table, he'll go there. I've got no fucking. I said, like, I'm not rejecting him because of his footballing ability. I'm rejecting him because I don't like him as a person. James Gunn says, please read this. Fans will moan about defensive football, not playing the youth team, and then in the same breath want Mourinho to manage us. Makes no sense to me. Listen, I think if something happened to, you know what I mean. If something happened to Pellegrini, I think they would go for him. I think that would be a name on the list. Whether they get him or not, I don't know. Johnny M back again. Go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, look, it was just I don't ever think Mourinho is going to come to West Ham. I don't. There's probably going to be other bigger and better clubs out there that would want Mourinho. But I just thought if there was ever an opportunity to get someone like that in at your club, if you want to go to the next level, you need a next level manager. And Mourinho, look, despite what some people think, he's one of the best managers in the world.
He will divide opinion. Johnny M, you're basically driving around a Fiat saying you would reject a Ferrari. Not really, mate. No, I don't agree with that whatsoever. Do you remember when Jose played 5 at the back against West Ham, with United against West Ham? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He does what he needs to do.
Yeah. You grind out results. Man United. He took over at Man United in a difficult time, a very difficult time. Man United have been through a bad period for the last I'd probably say since Ferguson left. It's been tough for them, but anyway.
Yeah, it's all subjective, isn't it? It's not happening. It's not on the table or anything. It's just all subjective. But yeah, decent debate that, I think. We're going to start wrapping it up in a minute. We thought Pelly was the next level manager. Says Rusty Bath.
I think Pellegrini's a step up from what we've had in recent years. Definitely a step up on Moyes. Definitely a step up on Bilic. Allardyce. I like Pellegrini, but I just think sometimes with Pellegrini, he has it, as we've said before, I don't think he's got that plan B. I don't think he knows what his plan B is. Yeah,
there's definitely something naive about him, Pellegrini. You know what I mean? But then he's managed at a lot of top clubs. You know what I mean? This is another level for him. You know what I mean? Like that middle of the that middle of the road team. You can't just go out and ask the players to do a job. You have to actually manage them. Maybe he's getting a little bit found out. 3 wins on a bounce, and we will love him again, says Barbara Bowler. Of course, Barbara.
But see a comment like that. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like Pellegrini. I've backed Pellegrini since day one. And of course, I hope he turns it around. I want to see West Ham win games. I want to see us finish as high up in the league as we can.
Somebody just said, what do you think about that haunted house video on West Ham YouTube channel with Noble Ogbono
Oh
and
yeah,
Andy.
I see that. I see that flash up on my phone. I ain't watched it yet, but someone said about. I see a comment saying about Ogbono screaming or something. But I did see the ladies one earlier. Did you see that one?
No, I haven't seen any of them.
Have a look on the West Ham ladies Twitter account. That's quite a good video. That is.
Musings is going up tomorrow. It's gonna. I was gonna film it yesterday, but I was still too ill, so it's gonna go up tomorrow instead because I know we had the live show tonight. Great, cheers, guys. Great banter. Says Metwin in both legs. I got Metwin in both my legs. Charlie Deacon says, "What about Yarmo played as a centre forward and Lanzini on the wing with Haller up front, having Yarmo providing more support for Haller like Jovic did?" Yeah, I think that could work, mate. I think, but I'm not the manager at the end of the day, so. Right, let's preview the Newcastle game then, mate. Are you confident?
I'm more confident than I probably was against Sheffield United. But do you know what? Newcastle are a very difficult team, and it's written in the stars. I see the photos today. Andy Carroll training. It's written in the stars. But if he does come on, one thing I will say is that when he does come on for Newcastle, he'll get a clap from me. I'm not going to boo him. I'm not one of these fans that do that. He didn't leave on bad terms. I know he was a long time at West Ham, and most of them were injuries. But look, he don't do it on purpose, does he? So I've where can I buy that T-shirt? Is it custom made? It's the away shirt. Now, I don't make the away shirts.
Oh, he might be talking about me. I'll answer that in a minute. Go on, mate.
Oh, but yeah, no. Yeah, Andy Carroll will get a clap from me 100%. And I think he'll get a good reception when he does come on. But yeah, no, I am confident. I think we're going to get a win. I think it'll be tight. Newcastle, as I said, they're in a difficult team. One week they look decent, and then you watch them some weeks and they look really poor. A bit like us, really. So it could be anything. But one thing that they were talking about on TalkSport the other day was their player Almiron. Who's the Almiron? That's the South American they signed last season, wasn't it? Yeah, they was talking about him saying he hasn't scored yet since he's signed for Newcastle. As soon as I said that, I thought, well, he's definitely scoring on Saturday now. So
he has scored.
No, he hasn't.
Has he not?
No,
that's mental, isn't it?
No, he hasn't scored yet. They was talking about it on the radio the other day, and he's got so much potential. He's a good player, but he's going to score on Saturday. So I'm going to go for 2-1 West Ham win. I fancy us to win. It'll be tough. As we said last week, though, the players have got to step it up. Step it up. The big players like Anderson, Yarmolenko, they've got to start creating more for Sebastian Haller, and he needs the support. He needs the support up there. I won't say Declan Rice is going to support him, because last week I said that and someone moaned at me because Declan Rice ain't allowed to cross the halfway line, apparently.
They logged off and everything. Edward Denham says, "Ryan, where can I buy that shirt? Is it custom made?" If you're talking about this shirt, mate, it's a jumper, actually. We've got new jumpers in the store. Can you see it?
Nice.
They are custom made. Yes, we make them ourselves. They come in jumpers and hoodies now with another design, which is a circle hammer. So go and check out the link in the description down below for that. Amazon bought some today. Yeah, Amazon bought some today. They're going to be featuring our Mark Noble T-shirt on their new show, it seems. Look forward to that. Look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, hopefully we get a little mention.
Yeah, if not, I'll go up to Amazon. I'll fucking fling a package at them. Right. This it does sound like, I shouldn't say things like that, right? Andy Lee, just before we go, do not write off Carroll. He scares me, the fact that he might play coming back to West Ham, writing in the stars. You know it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Look, if Carroll comes on, he's gonna do it, give everything to score. Not because he wants to score to prove something against West Ham, but he wants to score for himself. And I don't think he's the sort of player that would celebrate if he did score. I'd hope to think he wouldn't.
They're so creative. Says, "Where's my T-shirt?" I don't know, mate. Did you order one?
Where's my jumper?
It's over there. So I think we'll leave it there, right? Because I want to go and have my dinner. First dinner I've had in a few days. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV live and uncut. We'll be back over the weekend with all the fan cams, of course, with post-match pint. And let's keep it brief. One thing left to say, Ryan.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.